Let me ask you something, and I want you to be honest with yourself. Do you reach for a little pink pill or a blue gel cap almost every single night just to fall asleep? Maybe it's something you picked up at the drugstore years ago. Maybe it's become so automatic that you don't even think about it anymore. You brush your teeth, you take your pill, you turn off the light. I need you to hear this clearly, because I'm not saying it to scare you. I'm saying it because I care about what happens to you 10 years from now, not just tonight. That little sleep aid, the over-the-counter kind, the one with diphenhydramine in it, the same ingredient in Benadryl, is not the harmless bedtime ritual most people believe it is. And here's the part that worries me the most. This isn't something that hurts you overnight. It builds up slowly, quietly, night after night, year after year, until one day your body, or your mind, starts showing you the bill. So today, I want to sit down with you, the way I would with a patient in my office, and walk through exactly what's happening, why it matters more as we get older, and what you can actually do about it. First, I want you to know something important. If you're one of the millions of people who take these pills at night, you are not doing anything foolish. You are not careless. You did not do this to yourself on purpose. You did it because it worked. You were tired of staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m. You were tired of feeling exhausted at breakfast. Someone told you it was just an antihistamine, available without a prescription, sitting right there on the shelf next to the vitamins. Of course you trusted it. Why wouldn't you? Here's what I want you to understand. Sleep struggles after 60 are incredibly common. Somewhere between 1 in 3 and nearly half of older adults report ongoing trouble falling or staying asleep. You are absolutely not alone in this, and there is nothing shameful about wanting real, restful sleep. But wanting relief and understanding what that relief is quietly doing inside your body, those are two different things. And that's exactly what we're going to talk through together. Calmly, one piece at a time. This does not mean you should panic. It means it's time to know the truth, so you can make the choice that's actually right for you. Let me explain in plain language what this nightly habit is actually doing. The active ingredient in most over-the-counter sleep aids, diphenhydramine, belongs to a class of drugs called anticholinergics. That word sounds complicated, but here's the simple version. Your brain and body run on a chemical messenger called acetylcholine. Think of it as the electrical wiring that helps your brain form memories, keeps your muscles and bladder working properly, and keeps your digestive system moving. Anticholinergic drugs work by blocking that messenger. That blocking effect is exactly why the pill makes you drowsy. It's quieting down your nervous system, but your brain doesn't have a separate sleep switch. When you block acetylcholine to make yourself drowsy, you're blocking it everywhere else it's needed to. Now, here's why age changes the math. When you were 35, your liver and kidneys cleared that drug out of your system fairly quickly. But as we get older, our bodies process medications more slowly. The same dose that barely affected you at 40 can sit in your system much longer at 65, 70, or 80. It's a bit like pouring the same amount of water into a drain that's gotten narrower over the years. It just doesn't clear the same way anymore. So what happens with regular nightly use? Researchers have actually studied this question directly, and the findings deserve your attention. One of the largest long-term studies, published in a major internal medicine journal, followed several thousand adults over the age of 65 for about 7 years, tracking how much cumulative anticholinergic medication they used. What they found was that people in the highest use category, meaning they had taken a strong anticholinergic drug regularly for the equivalent of about 3 years or more over that decade, had a meaningfully higher risk of developing dementia compared to people who rarely or never use these drugs. We're talking about roughly a 50% higher relative risk in that heaviest use group. That is not a small number, and it's not something I feel comfortable staying quiet about. On top of that, geriatric medicine experts, the doctors who specialize in caring for older adults, have specifically flagged diphenhydramine on what's called the Beers criteria, a well-known list of medications considered potentially risky for people over 65, precisely because of this anticholinergic burden. And it's not just the brain. This same blocking effect can cause your bladder to empty less completely, which raises the risk of urinary retention and infections. It can slow your digestion, contributing to constipation. It dries out your mouth and eyes. And because it sedates your nervous system, it slows your reaction time and your balance, which brings us to falls, one of the leading causes of serious injury in adults over 65. I want to be very clear with you. Taking this pill once, occasionally, during a rough week is a very different situation than taking it every single night for years. It's the accumulation that concerns me, the slow, quiet buildup you don't feel happening. Now, let's talk about what your body might already be telling you. I want you to listen to these not with fear, but with curiosity, like a detective looking for clues. Morning grogginess that doesn't lift. If you're taking this pill for sleep, but you still feel foggy, heavy, or hungover well into the late morning, that's your body telling you the drug is still active in your system. This is worth mentioning to your doctor, especially if it's affecting your driving or your balance. Increasing forgetfulness, misplacing your keys occasionally is normal at any age. But if you or your family have noticed you're repeating questions, losing track of conversations, or feeling more mentally cloudy than you used to, don't panic and don't assume the worst. But do bring this up with your physician and mention every medication you take, including anything from the pharmacy shelf. This is exactly the kind of symptom that deserves a real conversation, not internet self-diagnosis. Dry mouth, constipation, or trouble urinating. These may feel like separate minor annoyances. Often, they're connected all signs of that same anticholinergic effect working through your body. Dizziness or unsteadiness when you stand up. If you've had a near fall or you feel lightheaded getting out of bed at night, please take this seriously. This is not something to simply monitor on your own. This is a call your doctor soon symptom, because falls in people over 65 can lead to hospitalizations that change the entire trajectory of someone's independence. Needing more of the pill to get the same effect. If half a pill used to work and now you need a full one, or you've added a second dose, that's a sign your body has adapted, and that pattern deserves medical guidance, not a bigger bottle. To be clear, none of these signs by themselves prove that this medication caused a specific disease. Your body is complicated, and so is aging. I'm not here to diagnose you through a screen, and I would never tell you that one symptom equals one condition. What I am telling you is this. These are signals worth paying attention to and worth discussing honestly with the person who knows your full medical history, your doctor. Let's talk honestly about where things tend to go wrong, not to blame you, but because you may be doing this simply because no one ever explained the risk to you. Mistake 1, assuming over-the-counter means harmless. I understand why. If it required a prescription and careful monitoring, wouldn't it be behind the counter? But availability has never been the same thing as safety, especially for older adults whose bodies process these drugs so differently. Mistake 2, using a sleep aid as a permanent solution instead of a short-term bridge. These products were generally studied and intended for occasional short-term use, not nightly use for months or years. Mistake 3, not telling your doctor you're taking it. So many patients tell me about their prescriptions in detail, but forget to mention the over-the-counter sleep aid because it doesn't feel like real medicine. But your doctor needs the complete picture, especially because this drug can interact with other medications you may be on. Mistake 4, stopping suddenly on your own after hearing information like this. Please don't do that. Suddenly, stopping a nightly sleep aid you've relied on for a long time can cause rebound, insomnia, and other withdrawal-like effects. This is something to taper and manage together with your physician, never alone and never based on a YouTube video, including this one. So, what can you actually do? Let's talk about real, practical, safe steps, not miracle cures, not a magic supplement, just honest groundwork you can build on with your doctor's guidance. Step 1. Bring your full medication list to your next appointment. Every prescription, every over-the-counter pill, every supplement. Ask directly, is there anything on this list that's considered risky for someone my age? That single question can open an incredibly important conversation. Step 2, ask about alternatives. There are non-anticholinergic options for sleep that your doctor may discuss with you, along with structured approaches like cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, which research has shown to be one of the most effective long-term tools for improving sleep without any medication side effects at all. Step 3, look at your sleep environment and evening routine. A cooler room,
generally somewhere around 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit, a consistent bedtime, and reducing screen light in the hour before bed can meaningfully support your body's natural sleep signals. These aren't cures, but they are real, evidence-supported habits that cost nothing and carry no risk. Step 4. Watch your caffeine and alcohol timing. Caffeine can linger in your system for 6 hours or more, and alcohol, while it may make you drowsy initially, actually fragments your sleep later in the night. Step 5. Move your body during the day. Even a 20 to 30 minute daily walk has been associated with improved sleep quality in older adults, simply by helping regulate your body's natural circadian rhythm. Step 6. Write down your questions before your appointment. I know how rushed doctor visits can feel. Write down, how long have I been taking this? What are my alternatives? Is my dose still appropriate for my age and kidney function? Walking in prepared changes the entire conversation. None of this is about fear. It's about handing you back some control. Let me tell you about someone I'll call Carol, and I want to be upfront that Carol isn't one specific real patient, but a composite picture built from situations I've seen many, many times, so you can see how this plays out in real life. Carol was 71, active, sharp as a tack, ran her own small bookkeeping business well into her 70s. About 8 years earlier, after her husband passed away, her sleep fell apart. A friend suggested an over-the-counter sleep aid. It worked, so she kept using it every single night for years without really thinking twice about it. Slowly, small things started happening. She'd walk into a room and forget why. She started leaving sticky notes everywhere, more than she used to. Her daughter noticed she seemed a little slower to follow conversations at family dinners. Carol assumed it was just normal aging. Everyone forgets things at my age, she told herself. She had gently brushed off her daughter's concern more than once, until one afternoon her doctor asked, almost in passing, "Are you still taking anything for sleep?" Carol mentioned the pill, almost embarrassed, like it wasn't worth bringing up. Her doctor's expression changed, and for the first time, someone actually explained to her what that nightly habit might be doing. They didn't stop it overnight. Her doctor was clear that would be unsafe. Instead, they built a plan together: a gradual taper, a referral to a sleep specialist, and a structured behavioral sleep program. Within a few months, Carol's sleep had actually improved, not with the pill, but with real, sustainable habits. And just as importantly, that mental fog she'd written off as just getting older noticeably lifted. Carol's lesson is simple, and it's the one I want you to take with you. What feels like ordinary aging is sometimes something reversible, hiding in plain sight, inside a bottle you've stopped even questioning. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with 3 things I really need you to remember. Number 1, a nightly over-the-counter sleep aid is not automatically dangerous for everyone, but for many people over 60, the anticholinergic effect in drugs like diphenhydramine carries real, documented risks to memory, to balance, and to your bladder and digestion. Number 2, the warning signs, morning fog, forgetfulness, dizziness, needing more of the pill are not something to panic about, but they are absolutely something to bring to your doctor honestly and without embarrassment. Number 3, you never ever have to stop a medication abruptly or figure this out alone. This is a conversation, a partnership with a physician who knows your health history. And I want you to hear this last part clearly. Your body is not betraying you. It is talking to you. Every one of these signals is your body's way of asking for a little more care and attention, not evidence that something is broken beyond repair. It is never too late to make a change that protects your mind and your independence. Not at 65, not at 75, not at 85. Small, steady adjustments, a conversation with your doctor, a new evening routine, a little more daylight walking, these add up to something real over time. So let me ask you honestly, in the comments below, have you ever taken a sleep aid like this without really knowing what it might be doing long term? Or has a doctor ever brought up your medication list in a way that surprised you? I'd genuinely like to know your story might be exactly what someone else watching needs to hear tonight. If this video gave you something worth thinking about, do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe if you want more honest, straightforward conversations like this one. And if you have a parent, a spouse, or a friend who might be relying on a nightly sleep aid without knowing the full picture, please share this with them. It might be the nudge that gets them talking to their doctor. Take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next one.